One of these days I might remember to plug in my microphone. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, Cup Series. Yeah, I got to see a bit of Cup Series practice. It was pretty odd seeing SVG not decimate the practice session. Not even getting inside the top five. Honestly, was very surprising. So there we go. But yep. Hey friends, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good. Prayers for the people in Texas. Uh, I apologize if I am ignorant to the news. Um, love the butterbean shirt. Yeah, I picked it up at the Pocono race this past week. I was down there for the O'Reilly and the Cup race, but I figured, hey, I don't have a Truck Series driver shirt. Figure, hey, let's rep my boy Butterbean. And honestly, I don't think I really have a definitive favorite driver in the Truck Series. I think they're all really great, but as I love the fact that Butterbean came up here to Maine to race with Kyle Busch a couple years ago. So I figured Butterbean was a pretty good shirt to go get. But yep, yeah. So I do not know exactly what is going on in Texas, but obviously, yeah, I don't know if it's a hurricane or some other thing. Again, I apologize if I'm just out of the loop with the news. I'm over 12 hours away from Texas, so yeah. Yep, yeah, I mentioned it during my stream a week ago during the Michigan stream that I wouldn't be because of Pocono's spotty reception that I wouldn't be able to stream uh, from the grandstands at Pocono because the cell reception is not great there. So that you guys weren't going to get much in terms of live content. I did record some clips, and I am going to be in the process of trying to put those together for you guys here in the next week or two. But yeah, I tried to get as many clips as I could. Some awesome clips. Some of them will probably get on YouTube. Other ones, I might be working on some other projects with them. But yeah, it took a lot of. I took as many video clips as I could. Had a fun time. It was a great weekend. So. But yeah, it was a long weekend. We're still a little bit recovering from the drive because, yeah, it's a long drive over. It's like 7.5 hours down there. So, yeah, I wish there were more races closer, but I also understand that we already have 3 races that are technically in the Northeast, but I'd like to have some more. But I also understand the Pacific Northwest is way underrepresented with NASCAR. But yeah, they're getting the command to start the engines. Yep. Yep. The command to start the engines. Let's skip this ad. But we've got starting grid is interesting. We got Caden Honeycutt, Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith at the front. And then 7-time Cup champion Jimmie Johnson. Practiced in the 4th position, qualified in the 4th position. Let's see if he can get that car, that truck into victory lane today. That'd be awesome. But yeah, it should be a pretty good race, all things considered. All right, so O'Reilly practiced today, but races qualifies and races tomorrow. All right, so we got 36 or 37 drivers. Yeah, trying to qualify for the O'Reilly race. I don't remember what a full field is at in the O'Reilly series. Let's go back to Daytona. Because if there was one race we had a full field. Okay, so we have 38 spots, and no drivers are going down there. Maybe do a stream to honor the Father's Day. We'll be streaming on Father's Day. As I don't know what my dad's going to be up to. Maybe we can get him to join us on stream for the race, but it also might be short notice. I'll talk to him about it after the stream. But yeah, they will definitely be talking about Father's Day on Sunday, obviously. But we're getting down to the end of the regular season for the Cup Series already. Only 10 races left. Yeah, between now and the playoff cut and the chase cutoff, which the chase grid for the Cup Series is definitely interesting. You got a tie between you got Cindric only 4 points above Brad Keselowski for the cutoff. Denny Hamlin on a 3-race win streak has run down Tyler Reddick to within 19 points. Now, with Hamlin's inability or lack of ability on road courses traditionally, these next 2 weeks are a good chance for Reddick to try and stretch that lead back out if he can get some good finishes, maybe a win. Because again, Denny traditionally does struggle at the road courses, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. At the O'Reilly level, though, there's a bigger gap between Jesse Love and Allgaier, for first and second, than there would be for Jesse Love to miss the chase entirely, which is insane. And then on the truck side of things, we actually have a pretty good battle. Lane Riggs currently holds the points lead over Caden Honeycutt. Meanwhile, Caden Honeycutt sits 26 points back. Chandler Smith, 90 back, so a little bit further back, but not too far to climb his way back into this one. And Corey Heim still sits in 11th place on points, despite the fact that he's only run like 4 races. Yeah, he only ran like 1 race this year that didn't involve a finish. Who's your pick for this weekend in NASCAR? For trucks, let's go with a fun pick for trucks. I think Jimmie Johnson could get it done. For if we're talking for the Cup Series, who did I even pick? Because we recorded the podcast earlier this week over for the Lapdown podcast. Trying to remember who I selected because SVG got sniped from me, so I couldn't take SVG. I think SVG is a very logical pick for this one. I think I went with McDowell, though. I'll say it. If not, I would love to see McDowell get the win. But here we go. The trucks are rolling out for the pace laps here. I'm going to start getting familiar with this Naval Base Coronado layout. Yeah, for the O'Reilly series, I'm not really sure who I think is going to win that one. I mean, I think Brent Cruz would be a good I think Brent Cruz would be a logical choice. He, similar to Zillage, grew up doing road course racing, so. Alright, here we go. Alright, they're breaking down this one, so we got turns 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got Carrier Corner, turn 5. Then we got the Coronado Chicane at 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then, turns 14 and 15, some of these drivers were drifting through it, and a big hit for Justin Marks. Another slip and slide there for, I believe that was Friesen there. Ben Rhodes clipped the wall as well, coming off the final turn. The Fields of Joy number 7 car, or truck, got up into the, got a decent amount of damage as well, as he had a interesting ride. Who's in the 7 this week anyway? The 7 is Mozak this week. There we go. I don't know what cup drivers are racing in the truck, so I got my eyes on Jimmie Johnson. So the thing is, because it's a brand new track, there is because it's because it's a brand new track for NASCAR. Drivers are not traditionally allowed to run both races. Uh, so no driver in O'Reilly or trucks can kind of double dip. A few notable exceptions have been made for obviously Jimmie Johnson, who's running both the trucks and cup race, and for Austin Hill, who obviously, due to the unfortunate circumstances, yep, Jamie Murray's in this race. Is going to be racing the 33 car in Cup and then the 21 in the O'Reilly Series as per usual. And then Brent Cruz will also be on standby. He's racing in the O'Reilly race, but he'll also be on standby if the track is too physical for Christopher Bell. Obviously, Christopher Bell just had that gnarly hit at the had a gnarly hit at Michigan. He ultimately did make it through the full race at Pocono and actually looked pretty decent, although it ultimately was a fuel mileage call that he almost won him the race and then sequentially lost him the race on the last lap. So here we go. Honeycutt and Riggs, the 2 points leaders on the front row, just the way we like it. And the third place guy in points starting third. Literally, the point standings is how they'll start until we get to Jimmie Johnson in fourth. Then we got Grant Enfinger and Gio Ruggiero, who is going to the back of the field. Not sure as to the reason as to why Gio is going to the rear. Then we got Andres Perez and Ty Majeski. Landon Lewis will also go to the rear of the field, while Parker Kligerman is set to start in row 5. Karn Mozak in row 6 there. We got Jamie McMurray and Stuart Friesen both going to the rear of the field, both out of row 11, where they were originally supposed to start. And then we got a lot of other drivers going to the rear of the field. Brendan, no longer gone, is back. And yes, I will be making that pun probably multiple times throughout the night. But yeah, Brendan Gaughan driving truck number 20. He is back. He'll be going to the rear of the field. Eckes, Hemrick, and many more going to the rear of the field. And that is going to be we got ourselves a pretty good one. Kligerman stopping in his pit box for a moment, not sure as to what the issue might be there. But he's off. Oh, I thought he was off and away. Yep, there we go. Blends back into traffic. So Caden Honeycutt's one win was at Watkins Glen, so he does have a road course win now. But the other road course this year, which was probably more similar at the St. Pete race, was actually won by, I believe, Lane Riggs, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Here we go. So we got 50 laps tonight. So Tanner Gray, Friesen, Marks, and Eckes are all going to the rear with backup cars. A much longer list of Andretti, Mozak, Enfinger, Honeycutt, Queen, Gray, Ruggiero, Hemrick, Brendan Gaughan, Riggs, Lewis, Friesen, Gralla, Marks, Eckes, and Ben Rhodes all had contact with the wall. Hey, Evan, how's it going? Alright, we are getting ready here to roll. We got a fun race ahead of us. Stages are 12 laps, and 26 laps apiece. What's up, Ryan? How's your week going? Hey, my week's going pretty good. Just as it's been a weird week on sleep schedule just because, still trying to adapt after the long weekend down at Pocono this past week. I love race week, but it always kind of just messes with that sleep schedule for like the next week or so. So we'll need to pit during that final 26 lap segment. All right, nice to see that. Always like a green flag pit stop. As long as we can keep it green, at least we'll get a green flag pit stop. But yep, so 12 laps, and again, 26 laps is the distance here in the Craftsman Truck Series. So yeah, there we go. We're all set up and ready for this one. Also got another 4 a.m. shift tomorrow, which is going to be tiring, but we're going to get through it. Weather looks beautiful out there at Coronado. But a race car might be able to reset it like this weekend or next weekend. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of Honeycutt and Lane Riggs as we get ready to go. Green, 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 green flag is out. We are racing at the Naval Base. Oh, and do we already have contact with the outside wall further back in the pack? Thought I saw somebody smack the fence coming off of there. I'm planning on going to the Oxford 250 this year. I'll have to see what weekend it is. I don't know off the top of my head which weekend it is. If it doesn't overlap with a NASCAR Cup race, I would say that is a very likely possibility that I could go to my first Oxford 250. But, I'll have to see what day and time it's at. But here we go. The drag race still locked head-to-head, side-by-side. Honeycutt versus Riggs, dueling it out here. Honeycutt takes the lead here off of, I'm not sure what corner that is. Down the straightaway, through another kink here. And I believe they are coming down towards the end of the lap, but hard to tell because they don't have a track map on screen. If we could get a track map NASCAR, that'd be great. All right, but yeah, here we go. Making their way down another straightaway again. Honeycutt did finally get clear as the cars go single file through the narrow parts of the race. But then here we go. Through the wide section. I believe this is turns 14, 15, and back to the start-finish line. And again, these drivers starting to pick up the pace, but here comes Jimmie Johnson. He's made his way to third. Okay, there's the interesting corner. Okay, so is this the final two corners then? Again, I am still learning this track, just like everybody else, so apologies if I don't recognize every single corner here. But these front two are starting to open up some gaps here. Yep, Jimmie Johnson, he's racing both trucks and the Cup race on Sunday. Oh, man. Sorry to the earbud users, I was not able to see that one coming beforehand and couldn't mute the mic. But yeah, Jimmie's not falling too far back though in third place. But again, it is Honeycutt versus Riggs at the front of the field. Those two are neck and neck for the lead. Meanwhile, there's a bit of breathing room between the two of them and Johnson, about a second between them. Meanwhile, these front two, they have not been separated by more than about half a second at most throughout the entire race up to this point. And yeah, Lane Riggs is looking like he was going to do everything he can to keep Honeycutt honest. If Honeycutt makes him a slight mistake, Riggs is going to be there to pounce. So these two drivers racing down towards the I can't even remember the name of this corner. I think it's called Carrier Corner. Yeah, where there's supposed to be the big aircraft carrier, I believe. But yeah, this is an awesome race. Yeah, I love the fact that we're racing at the Air Force Base. And now this, I believe, is a Coronado chicane that they're making their way through right now. Again, Riggs doing everything he can to stay close to Honeycutt, try and keep him honest. But right now, the two of them are absolutely gapping Jimmie Johnson in third place. Jimmie's made his way did have to make a pass to get to third, but in doing so, he is, again, falling further and further from the two leaders. Now, the more these two leaders start to fight with each other, the closer Jimmie very well might become. But here we go, down through these last couple of corners. As I say, Honeycutt has Riggs all over his bumper. All right, making another chicane-style movement. Again, I am still working on learning what each part of the track is. I would love to have a track map. Normally, NASCAR has a track map that I get annoyed with. But I do not see it on the leaderboard today. Here we go. We got Riggs getting side by side with Honeycutt. He's decided to start putting the challenge to him. Jimmie Johnson is going to be loving this because this is going to give him a shot to try and catch back up as the two drivers go door to door, wheel to wheel. Jimmie is in third, but there it goes. Lane Riggs takes the top spot away from Honeycutt. He was patient. He bided his time, and then he picked his corner, made his move, and cruised right on by Caden Honeycutt for the lead of the race. But due to all that, Jimmie Johnson did manage to reel in the leaders just a little bit. Still about a second or so off of the front two. Yeah, Jimmie Johnson, he started in the fourth position in the trucks, made his way to third during lap number 1, and has kind of just been floating there for the last lap or so. But again, because Honeycutt and Riggs have kind of been dueling it out amongst themselves, it's made for a very, it's made for the opportunity for Jimmie Johnson to reel them back in. Alright, so here we go. We got the, Riggs starting to open up a little bit of a gap between himself and Honeycutt, trying to just get away from him because he knows if he lets Honeycutt back beside him, there is a very real chance that Honeycutt gets back into him. Oh, we got a spin. Not sure if that one's going to lead to a caution flag or not. We'll have to wait and see if the driver can get the car going. I also would love to see what area of the track that one happened in, but it looks like Nathan Nicholson got a pretty sizable dent there in the side of his Chevy. Yeah, again, not sure as to what... Okay, here we go. Let's see the replay here as to what happened to Nicholson. So number 76 goes up inside of number 26 of Dawson Sutton there. And yeah, Sutton just spins them both out. Yeah. So I guess it was Sutton that we saw sitting there while Nicholson was able to get going pretty quick. So, but yeah, that's a pretty wide part of the track. Cars pretty well out, trucks are pretty well out of the way. They probably are going to be able to avoid giving us a caution for that. Nope, caution flag's out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. You know the Rebel cars at Oxford Plains Speedway? I don't know them off the. I don't know them. I don't know the different cars by name. Um, yeah, when it comes to the different classes of cars, like you'll see it when I cover the my local dirt track at Unity. I did see the NASCAR 26 cover. I have not seen the gameplay yet. I was busy at work today, so I didn't get a chance to see the gameplay from it. I will say I kind of wish that they had put Denny Hamlin on the cover. Obviously, they couldn't have possibly predicted how great of a season he's having this year between as a car owner of Tyler Reddick and as a driver, but yeah, with how good Denny Hamlin did last year, plus how much he was in the news in the offseason as with the lawsuit and all that, I feel like you could have easily found a way to put Denny Hamlin and possibly even Michael Jordan on the cover, and yeah, that would be awesome if they can get MJ on the cover at some point. That would be amazing. But obviously, I'm sure that you can't actually go ahead and. It's not cheap, I'm sure, to get Michael Jordan on the cover of your game. But man, would that be entertaining. Okay, the little cars, okay. Yeah, again, I don't go to Oxford very often, so if it's a series of car that doesn't race, that I haven't seen race, or I've only seen race once or twice, I probably don't know them off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, Denny and Jordan, though, on the cover would have been an awesome duo. Well, again, that's why you wouldn't put just MJ on the cover, but putting MJ on the cover with Denny Hamlin in his fire suit, I think you could. I think you could get away with that. Like obviously, you can't put MJ in his basketball jersey as the only person on the cover, but I think you could definitely put Hamlin and Jordan together on the cover with the 19 car and or one of the and or the 23 car burning it down in the background. Let's say maybe if Bubba ever wins a championship, that'll be the cover for the following year. Bubba's championship or Daytona 500 winning burnout with Denny and Jordan there. Or even Jordan and Bubba. That would be an awesome cover, too. Yeah, I get again. That's where it would come down to how much of it is NASCAR having an impact on who gets the cover athlete spot. But I mean, there's no doubt that there's no doubt that Jordan's had more of an impact on NASCAR in the last 4 or 5 years than any other figure. I mean, especially when it comes to new fans. Obviously, Dale Jr. Always commanded Junior Nation and the legion of fans from yeah, from his dad's era. But when it comes to the new fans, there is very few figures that move a crowd the way that Jordan has. Yeah, exactly. If Reddick and or Bubba ever win a championship, I think that those could both go there. So there we go. They've got some of the they got some drag racers. It looks like I don't recognize. Oh, that's Ron Capps. Okay, I was gonna say Looks familiar, but I couldn't for the life of me tell you exactly who it was. Yeah, again, defending champion is okay. It's just okay, if you're gonna do Larson, put the double on there. Put the IndyCar and the Charlotte 600 car on there. Like, do something really unique. Obviously, I know a lot of people said that, oh, it should have been Kyle Busch. The Kyle Busch tragedy happened too late in the production cycle to make it on the cover. But again, if you're gonna do the defending champion, if you're gonna do Larson, do his double attempt. That would actually be really awesome if they work together because I know that they had, at least for a while, an IndyCar game in the works. If they could get just like a functional Indy 500 going, so you could attempt to win the double, that'd be an interesting, kind of like the challenges or missions in the game. Well, as I say, again, I think it'd be honoring his death, but again, it happened way too late in the production cycle to have gotten him on there. As I would be shocked if we don't get a Kyle Busch Gold Edition as for the 2027. Yeah, like the Gold Edition covers. Something again to honor him, not necessarily. And honestly, if I'm them, they probably make enough money. They can probably afford to go ahead and say, "Hey, all the proceeds from the Kyle Busch Edition goes to his Bundle of Joy Foundation." I think that would be a really touching tribute. And again, they make enough money. They probably can afford to do that. And I think that would be a great way to honor him if that's what they choose to do. But again, I think that would be a. I don't think that would have been possible for a 2026 version. I think. Oh yeah, there will definitely be a lot of his schemes over the years, I'm sure. But yeah, again, that's probably something that we'll get in the 2027 game. Gio Ruggiero, there was a lot of gas spilling out of that can, almost like you didn't get it full. Although maybe it was just the fact that the car didn't burn much fuel in the 5 laps we've been going. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they do in the game in terms of paint schemes for Kyle Busch. But I think you very well could see Kyle Busch in the same honored in the same way that they honored like Jeff Gordon or Tony Stewart with their special editions. Now, whether they go above and beyond like they did for the fact that he obviously passed versus just retirement, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Biffle too. Yep. And I think you got to do Mike Lynette though. If you're gonna do Biffle, I think you got to do Mike Lynette too. And for Kyle Busch, it's so weird because, of course, he was still active, unlike Biffle and Nanette, where they both had retired prior to their incidents. Yeah, again, a lot of this is just kind of we'll have to wait and see what they do, but again, I'm hoping that they'll do some of these ideas. All right, we're back from commercial break. We should hopefully be getting the restart here shortly, especially given the fact that there was no real damage done during the wreck. Yep. Yeah, I mean, as I would be shocked if the Biffle Memorial cars aren't included, at the very least, as maybe free DLC, but maybe even just in the base game. But here we go. Pace cars off. Field in the hands of Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt as we go green, 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 green flags out. We are back to racing. And say Riggs opting to take the outside for that final corner before the green. Yeah, so that you can have the inside lane for turn one. Gets clear of Honeycutt, and now it is the battle is on for third place, though. Jimmie Johnson versus Chandler Smith right behind the leaders. Duking it out for that third position here. Yeah, I don't care too much about GTA 6 pre-orders at the moment, but that is going to be an interesting one. All right, but yeah, man, this battle for third is actually pretty good. It's like Jimmie Johnson duking it out door to door, wheel to wheel with Chandler Smith. He's almost clear, and Jimmie gets clear of Chandler Smith. There we go. Jimmie Johnson gets clear of Chandler Smith. Oh! The 88 of Majeski hangs on to that one. Oh my gosh. He hung on to that one. That was insane that Ty Majeski didn't lose that one. So it was just hard charging right behind the guys battling for third place here. Infinger and Chandler Smith nearly wipes out and takes a couple of them with him, but ultimately he gathers it up and is right back at it. Why is the screen showing Jimmie Johnson back in sixth place? He took third. Did he not? All right, Lane Riggs clears Honeycutt, and we'll jump up ahead of Honeycutt here. A little bit of debris blowing around as all these drivers head through the Coronado chicane here. There we go. They're correcting the leaderboard now. All right, so Johnson's still in third here. Chandler Smith in fourth. Infinger fifth. Kligerman has jumped up to sixth over the 88 machine. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Where's Jamie McMurray racing at here? McMurray is in 22nd at the current moment. Yeah, we're working our way through this one. Only 5 laps to go on the stage. We're working our way through these laps in a hurry here. Jimmie's first truck race in almost 18 years. Yep. Just goes to show the experience of the Cup Series pours over to the O'Reilly and the trucks. If anyone needed convincing of that, here's your proof. Man, Brendan Queen's still all the way back in 29th. That is insane. So there we go. Daniel Hemrick up 16 spots since the start of the race. Landon Lewis up 15. Marks is up 14 after having to start at the rear of the field with a backup car. Adam Andretti and Ben rode some of the other big movers so far early in the race. We'll have to wait and see if they can keep up the rate of improvement or if they'll cool off a little bit. But again, we're coming up to only 4 laps to go here. These drivers have to be on the at the top of their game here if they want to try and win this one. Again, so far Riggs and Honeycutt have been near perfect at the front of the field, gapping even Jimmie Johnson by a considerable margin. Here we go. So hyped for Butterbean, but now I'm disappointed. Again, Butterbean was always more of a oval track racer, so I'm not overly surprised that he's struggled to make progress through the field. I was saying, most of his experience comes from shorter ovals versus coming from road and street circuits the way that, say, Zilich or Brent Cruz did. Alright, but yeah, we got ourselves a pretty good battle going on here. I'm not sure what position it's for. It looks like. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Man, it's been a long day. Alright, 4 laps to go here at the Naval Base Coronado. How was Pocono last week? It was a really good weekend. Got to see some good racing. O'Reilly race was a little sloppy, but then again, kind of comes with the territory of the O'Reilly series this year, it seems. As the Cup race was really solid, got to see some good strategy from Christopher Bell until it didn't ultimately work out for him. But all in all, I had a ton of fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the race on TV last week. But yeah, we got one more race on the Amazon Prime Network, and then we move on to the TNT Network, which, if you guys didn't see this past week, they decided to lock in the in-season challenge. So we'll have to we'll go through that at some point and talk about the matchups. But as of right now, here comes Parker Kligerman jumping to pit road for the trying to flip the stages here. Alright, so here we go. We got Majeski on pit road. We got Kligerman on pit road. A couple of guys coming down pit road a lap early, getting working on trying to flip the stage. I've always said if I'm going to flip a stage in the trucks, I would always much rather flip the second stage than the first. Because if you flip the first stage and don't flip the second one, you're just you're gaining track position so that you can win a stage by giving up points in a stage. Now, if you give stage points in stage 2 to flip the stage for stage 3, then you have track position for the end of the race, and a race win is a lot more valuable than a stage win, especially now with the way they reset the points. Alright, there we go. So Dawson Sutton 1 lap behind the race. The only truck 1 lap off the race right now. All right, let's see. Where has the 12 gotten himself to? Brendan Queen up to 24th. He's picked up the pace quite a bit in the last couple of laps. Brendan Queen on the move. McMurray. Let's see. Where is McMurray at? He was running in about 22nd the last time we checked on him. He is up to 18th at the moment, so he's making some. He's up about 4 spots from when we last checked on him. Oh, there we go. Battle for 6th place here. Ankrum versus Perez. Looks like Andres Perez made pretty quick work of that one, but there is nobody in front of them to duel with. Lane Riggs got out to a 4-second lead. Wow, that is impressive. All right, here we go. McMurray dives pit road, trying to beat the pit open sign. All right, so here we go. 2 laps to go in this one. We got ourselves a very tight race at this point. But yeah, the race is in front of the field, though. It looks like it's going to come down to whether or not anyone can do anything about Lane Riggs having the lead. If you can get them stuck back in traffic, they might be able to render him less than useful. All right, here we go. All right, final lap. Lane Riggs takes the white flag here. Everybody else working their way through this one. All right, here we go again. We're just working our way through this one. It's been a long day. But Lane Riggs on the final lap here, down the straightaway here at the Naval Base. Absolutely zero challenge or contest coming from behind him. All right, there we go. Man, they're showing some cording on one of the tires. Not sure whose tire that came off of, but again, Lane Riggs working his way through the final lap here. Final couple of corners. Lane Riggs looks untouchable through the. Not the restart zone. All right, but yeah, again, right now, Lane Riggs down into the hairpin here. All right, here we go. Again, Lane Riggs over Honeycutt is a major win here for the driver of the 34 car. Getting the win while you're getting the stage win, even while your nearest competition in terms of the points race has been a non-factor the entire second half of the race. Right, there we go. Lane Riggs gets the stage win. Honeycutt, Johnson, Chandler Smith, and Grant Infinger the top 5. Ankrum, Rhodes, Perez, Yeah, Lewis and Reef, the other drivers, to end up getting stage points today. Meanwhile, Corey Joy ends up just on the outside of stage one. Thank you. Yeah, picked it up at Pocono this past week with the when the it's a Dodge hauler. Figured I ought to pick a driver to root for throughout the Truck Series season because I don't really have a favorite truck driver, at least not one that's full time. We are here under the caution flag for stage number one ending. Again, it's been a quick race so far. Usually have Rhodes as a favorite. All right. Yeah, again, I don't think there's any really bad drivers in the Truck Series. It's just I didn't really have I didn't have a overly tight connection with any of them. I've at least met Brendan Bean in person. So, because I met him when he came up to race Oxford with Kyle Busch one year. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, there we go. They got Captain Lauren Jacoby, commanding officer of the naval base, up in the booth with them. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I love seeing the military involved in the NASCAR weekend, and especially, obviously, this weekend they're more involved than ever, but was that the really drunk one, like Brad Keselowski's back in 2012? I think I remember that one. Okay, yeah. All right, we should see pit road opening here. Yep, pit road is open and everybody's coming. Well, not everybody, but about half the field it looks like is coming. Half to 2/3 are coming. Riggs and Honeycutt both hold serve on pit. Or Lane Riggs hold serve on pit road. I didn't actually see what the other car was. Then they go to another commercial break. Alright. Alright, here we go. Coming back from commercial break here. Alright, here we go. We're doubled up, ready to go back racing here. Only 2 laps. Only 2 laps into the first. Really completing the first lap of the stage. Not really sure how that all works, but all right, we're coming down the green flag here shortly through the Coronado chicane. Here we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of the 11 and the 1 as they go green flags out. We are back to racing, and 6 drivers did not pit. Everybody else has made a pit stop at some point or another throughout the race, whether it was at the lap 4 caution or at the lap 8 shortly before the stage ended, or if it's or if they made the pit stop during the caution at the end of the stage. Regardless of which one they pit, they are back to racing, and again, it's Honeycutt, Johnson, Smith, the front 3, Hemrick, Haley, Gralla, the front 6. Those are your 6 that stayed out. Then you got Ruggiero, Gray, and Friesen, the 3 drivers who pit at lap 4 and did not come in again. Alright, there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Alright, so here we go. Again, Johnson Honeycutt there. Let's see. Where did our last week winner or not last week winner, but our stage winner end up so far? Let's get the leaderboard up so that we can scroll. Alright. Stage winner number 34 is Alright, Lane Riggs up to 11th here. He's making his way through the field and trying to carve him up quick. Oh! Connor Bozak gets spun the wrong way in the final chicane here. And he's got a major amount of damage. And oh, there's some smoke on the front stretch as well. Wow. Yeah, as I say, the 7 car coming to pit road, and that is going to be pit for damage there. Alright, here we go. And we're working our way through this one. They're clicking off these laps pretty quick. Again, Riggs is trying his best to try and muscle through this field as quick as he can. Honeycutt doesn't seem to be able to get away from Jimmie. Is that Jimmie? Yeah, I believe that's still Jimmie in second place there. Honeycutt seems to be having a hard time getting away from Jimmie. Meanwhile, Jimmie just hounding the back bumper of that 11 car, going to try and see if he can force a mistake. Totally thought they were about to send this one to commercial break for some reason. There we go. They're showing the replay here again of the 7 getting spun. Hard to tell. Maybe did Clearman wreck him, or did he just get loose on his own there? Alright, so we got 5 out of 12 laps complete here. We're working our way through this one pretty quick. Again, these laps are clicking by in a hurry. Talking about this being Jimmie Johnson's home race. Grew up 9 minutes from San Diego. Yeah, 19 miles to El Cajon, California, where Jimmie Johnson grew up. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Oh, what happened to Honeycutt? Uh-oh. I looked down for a minute and Caden Honeycutt's dropped to third. Meanwhile, Jimmie Johnson has assumed the lead of the race. There we go. Jimmie Johnson out in front of the field. Yeah, and it's all right, here we go. Here's what happened to Honeycutt. Oh, he just overcooked one of the corners and overshot it, losing 2 spots in the process. Almost lost a third one to Hemrick. Oh, uh-oh. Someone got some heavy damage back there. That's Justin Marks in the 77 car, co-owner of, I believe, Trackhouse Racing right there. So Justin Marks with a bit of an issue there. We'll have to wait and see if he's able to get it back to pit road. But that is some heavy, heavy damage there on the 77 truck. Trying to nurse it back to the pit road, but yeah, that truck is junked at this point. No salvaging a good day here for the Trackhouse, for the Spire number 77 machine. There we go. Alright, so we're at the side-by-side commercial break here, though. Jimmie Johnson, again, still out in front of the field. Honeycutt still recovering from his overshoot. Riggs up to 8th place, though. He's charging through the field here, trying to make his way as far up the grid as he can before he ultimately going to run out of time here, because he's not going to be able to get to the front of the field in time. If he does, that would be impressive, but I highly doubt it. They just showed an ad for the IndyCars. IndyCar had an insane moment in the NXT practice. A car got like 2 feet off the ground, just going over the rise and fall of a corner, and the car literally took flight. Alright, so here we go. They got Corey LaJoy out of the car. He's talking to the media here. Just talking about the damage that's ultimately gonna, I believe, end his race. I mean, he's out of the car. Odds are he's done. And here we go, jumping onto pit road here. It's Jimmie Johnson trying to flip that second stage. I think he might be a little early to be trying to flip the stage here, but Jimmie Johnson going to be coming to pit road here, see if he can get 4 tires and fuel, and make something happen for the third and final stage here. Because third and final stage, that's the important one for him. He's not points racing. He's just here to win this race. Now, if he can help the one truck win the Owners' Championship, that'd be awesome, but he's here to win the race. And there we go. They're trying to fix the 77 car Justin Marks. Trying what they can, but he just clobbered that outside wall so hard it's going to be hard to get back there. All right, so 5 to go here. Lane Riggs is making a charge towards the front of the field. He may get it. Chandler Smith, the new leader after Jimmie Johnson came to pit road. Parker Kligerman up in the top 3. Nice to see Kligerman doing well. But yeah, this battle for the lead, though, is absolutely gone. Again, they've got 9 seconds on the entire field. Here comes Chandler Smith and Honeycutt both jumping to pit road. That's going to hand the lead to Kligerman if Kligerman doesn't choose to pit here. All right, so here we go. Battle for the lead. Kligerman versus Riggs. The battle for the lead is on. Here we go. I will say, my YouTube TV has been stuttering quite a bit tonight. Not exactly sure what the reason for it is, but alright, so here we go. We're just chilling out here. Jimmie Johnson has come out in 24th place here, just behind Brendan Queen. Parker Kligerman currently in second place after Lane Riggs went and passed him a lap ago. All right, man. All right, 3 laps to go here. Riggs has the lead. Kligerman in second. Majeski up to third here. All right, let's see. If any of the late pitters here, Landon Lewis, the first of the late pitters. Then you got Kaz Gralla in second of those who are attempting to flip the stage. All right, Johnson up to 14th here again, as other people have started to try and flip the stage as well here. Where did we put the 12 car here? The 12 of Brendan Queen up into the top 20. There we go. Up to 17th. Caden Honeycutt flipping the stage up to 13. Johnson up to 14th. There we go. We got some good runs going for some of these guys. Lane Riggs going to try and flip the stage as well, because he was the leader at the time of the pit stop. He had the control. He was able to get to pit road in time to make his pit stop before the pits closed with 2 laps to go. So now we're going to see Parker Kligerman fight with Ty Majeski for the final spot here. Here we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, 2 laps to go here. Kligerman holding off Majeski for now, but Ty Majeski has all the incentive in the world to try and go for it here. Chandler Smith was able to leapfrog Honeycutt and Johnson in the pits. There we go. Jimmie and Honeycutt both came in for service, but ultimately it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be the 38 of Chandler Smith that might cycle to the lead here as the highest driver of the list to have pit already. Brendan McMurray back at the tail end of the lead lap. That is disappointing to see them that far back. Nathan Nicholson up inside the top 11, fighting for that 10th spot to try and get a stage point. But at this point, it's just impressive that his car is still running after the damage he got from somebody else. Oh no! One of the Rams is torn apart. The 25 of McMurray has torn himself apart here on the final lap of the stage. We might be seeing this yellow prematurely here for the stage end. That is disappointing. No caution yet. He's trying to get it back to the pits or at least off track, and it looks like he is going to get it to a gate where they can open it and try and get him in safely. All right, let's see what exactly happened. So right on, as they were crossing the pit, oh yeah, just the exact same thing that happened to Justin Marks. Yeah, just slid wide coming through this final corner and smack right into the fence. We've seen a number of drivers pull that exact same move today in practice. Oh, here we go. Ty Majeski gonna try and make a move for the lead. It's not gonna happen. We got ourselves Parker Collierman out in front of the field. Majeski gonna look to try and make another move. Not gonna happen there either. And here we go through the final set of nope, not final set of corners. Oh yeah, nope, we're at a completely different part of the track. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn the track. A lot of these places are kind of new to me, so we'll have to wait and see. And say this one's new to everybody because they've never raced here before. Alright, yeah, here we go again. Kligerman and Majeski neck and neck for the lead here. Yeah, coming through the final couple corners. Off of turn number 15, coming back to the start-finish line. They avoided smacking the fence, and it's going to be Kligerman over Majeski. 1-2. Grant Infinger third. Fourth will be Ankrum. Fifth will be Perez. Waiting to see them cross the start-finish line so we know for sure. And then it looks like the rest of the top 10, as we get our top 5 confirmed, it'll be Tyler Reef, Chandler Smith, and then we got, I don't even know who that was. Did we have Eckes in the middle there? Hard to really tell, and they cut to a commercial break, so. 2 stages down, 1 to go. We're just chilling out here while we're under commercial break and the caution flag for the end of stage 2. They were doing a pit crew competition with the Navy guys. That's pretty cool. 3 hour training session to get them ready. Okay, that's pretty fun. Alright, we're just pacing ourselves here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Let me man this commercial break here for a while as we're crossing halfway. Alright, I'm gonna throw in an ad and I'm gonna go grab a thing of water real quick. Alright, we got some water. Let's lock in here for the end of the race. Alright. So again, we're just pacing here under the caution flag. Alright, stage points earned tonight. So far, it's been Grant Enfinger, Ankrum, Caden Honeycutt, the top three on stage points earned. And here we go. Pit road is open, and here comes the front six. And a few more coming from further back here. So now we're going to get to see this field flip here, and it is going to be the 38 of Chandler Smith will inherit the lead here. All right, there we go. Riggs, Ruggiero, both up a lot of spots there. Then you got Majeski, Enfinger, Landon Lewis up 12 spots. Again, I wish they would tell me how many tires everybody took, because, I'm going to say, seeing the spots gained without seeing the tires taken makes it really hard to know, or was that a good stop, or did they just take less tires than everybody else? Alright, let's skip around ads and let's go ahead and get locked on in here for the run to the checkers. Honestly, with how tired I am, I might skip the O'Reilly race tomorrow and just put all my effort into making sure the Cup race is good. Because, these 4-to-1 shifts make the day so much longer, and especially while I'm still recovering from the race weekend. That's probably what I'm going to do. So, guys, don't expect me to stream tomorrow. Again, nothing against you guys or even this track. It's an awesome race. I kind of want to watch it. I'm almost certainly going to watch it on TV, but yeah, just don't expect me to stream because I am really tired. And I'm sure I'm going to be tired tomorrow after another 4 a.m. shift. But I wanted to try and get this one in because, again, we got Jimmie Johnson tonight, and he actually looks competitive today, so. All right, here we go. Pace cars off, field in the hands of Caden Honeycutt and Chandler Smith as we get ready to go. Green, 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 green flags out. We are back to racing. Mini Tyrell playing the strategy really well and getting one of those Dodge Rams into the top 10. In fact, two of the Dodge Rams are in the top 10 because Justin Haley has played the strategy pretty well as well, getting themselves up there. But there is a significant difference. Again, these front two. Yeah, say Jimmie Johnson's holding pretty close to them, but yeah, Mini Tyrell is having a really tough time here on the road course on the restart there. Yeah, fell right back to his teammate almost immediately here in the matching Dodge Ram colors. I will say I love how identifiable those cars are. Yeah, at least to know that it is a Dodge Ram. Now, trying to differentiate which Dodge Ram it's going to be, a lot tougher to figure that out, but here we go. Let's see. Yeah, these Dodge Rams doing a really great job here, though, at just rocking around in. They're riding around the track, but again, Honeycutt and Smith are the front two. They're the two that are going to try and command this race, and yet they're showing the race for the seat here with. Oh no, they're showing the late model sport. Late model race at Dominion Speedway. Yeah, here we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody is having a good time. But yeah, Lane Riggs coming through the field. He is on a tear, and he wants this top spot again. Lane Riggs, I think, is the best truck tonight. I don't think there's any real question overly about that. I mean, Caden Honeycutt and Chandler have been not too terribly far off of Riggs, but Riggs has been the driver we're measuring everybody to at this point as they come around to complete a lap. And there we go, Caden Honeycutt out ahead of Smith. I'm also curious to see if this thing runs green to the checkers or if you're going to have a yellow flag in the middle to try and make your pit stop. Because again, ideally you'd make your pit stop under green flag here because you're not going to lose a lap to the leader no matter how slow your pit stop is for the most part. Man, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, Justin Haley doing not a bad job at hanging into the top 10 here. Mini Tyrell drops to 8th. Alright, so here we go. Again, we got ourselves a pretty good race going. As a battle for the front of the field here, you've got Honeycutt versus Smith all over each other. And here we go. There's a bumper to bumper here. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs is on the back bumper of Daniel Hemrick here, who is trying to hold off the hard charging Ford. Although, ironically, I believe Hemrick is the top Chevy of the group right now. Alright, so here we go. Oh, no! Caden Honeycutt runs wide and destroys the back end of that car. Major damage to the 11 truck. He's going to try and nurse it here, but man, he just absolutely killed that truck. And now he's going to also hold up Jimmie Johnson, which is going to allow Chandler Smith to try and break away here. I say Honeycutt still holding on to the spot ahead of Johnson, but again, I can't imagine that car is going to be overly aerodynamic after that smack on the fence. Yeah, I mean that. He killed that fence there. And I'm impressed that car is still able to run at all, let alone as well as it is. But again, you two both have the 34 of Lane Riggs closing in on you. Caden Honeycutt is again destroyed his car. Probably he probably doesn't have a real shot to win it at this point with the damage, but as I would love to see him keep it out there and see what he can get done with it. But again, Honeycutt continuing to hold off, and yep, here we go. He comes into the pits here, and that's going to hand second place to Jimmie Johnson. But again, Riggs is right on the back bumper now. Jimmie Johnson, they're both 5 seconds behind the leader. So yeah, again, Caden Honeycutt, they're going to take a while to make sure that this car is perfect to go back out there. But again, here we go. Lane Riggs working his way around the outside of Jimmie Johnson. Hey, look, Kaz Growler's up into the top 5. There we go. Oh, no, we got the 33 of Malcolm in the Middle actor. No. Why am I blanking on his name? 33 of... It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Frankie Muniz, there we go. Frankie Muniz goes around. That's going to be some damage, but he does get it back going, which means no caution, probably. Which, again, I appreciate the effort they're going through to not throw a caution, but... man, that 33 truck has a lot wrong with it. The spoiler just hanging up in the air there. Man, we're just working our way through this one. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, as of right now, though, Chandler Smith out in front of the field, and he's got a comfortable lead over Riggs. Riggs in second, then we got Johnson in third, fourth, Hemrick. Again, it's a ways back to fourth with Hemrick, and then a little bit of ways before you get to Growlin, then the next batch of drivers finishing. And we got a yellow, 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 yellow. My guess is for debris off of the 33 car. When the 33 car spun around and crashed. Alright. Here comes the 33 finally dragging its bumper to pit road. Oh, they're showing the some more Navy clips here. So, we got ourselves a caution flag here with under 20 laps to go in the race. I don't know what the fuel mileage of the trucks around here is. I'd love to know an estimation as to how far they can get on fuel, because if they can't get to back, if they can't get to the, they can't get back around to the finish under the green flag, then they are almost certainly going to need to be planning a second pit stop. Man, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is not my best quality work, guys. Alright, so they're talking with Chandler Smith here. He's going to have to hold off Lane Riggs here, who is directly on this one. But yeah, I think it's right about that kind of borderline as to whether or not you make it or don't make it here. Alright, man. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. We'll be right back, guys. we're back. Sorry about that. We're back, guys. All right, and just in time. We caught the restart. Surprising me doing the trucks. I try to do the trucks when I can, but yeah, it's a lot harder because they're usually Friday nights and. I guess we weren't. I guess that was a replay of another restart. Yeah. Sorry, just had a bathroom break that went a little long, but we are back. We're ready to go back racing here. All right, they're pitting Jimmie right now. Uh-oh. Jimmie's stopped in his pit box. Was he... Oh no, they're putting up the hood on Jimmie's car. No. No. Alright, yeah, here we go. Yeah, Jimmie had been running pretty well. Hopefully whatever this is just minor setback. Oh, they're not putting the hood up. They're applying tape, it looks like, to the front of his truck. Well, good thing is his laps here are so long, he's got plenty of time to get back out there, but... Yeah, say Sunday is Road America for the Indy cars. That'll be fun. Man. Alright, we're ready to go racing here. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do O'Reilly tomorrow just because, I'm really tired. Going to take the day to rest and bring you guys the best Cup Series coverage I can. But I wanted to try and at least make an attempt at the trucks, given the fact that we have Jimmie Johnson racing today. But we're here. We're nice and ready here. Should be getting ready to go back green flag racing in a lap or so. Let's say time Jeske all the way up to second place here. Caden Honeycutt's recovered back into the fourth place. Last time we saw him, he overslid it and killed a tire barrier there. Kind of surprised to see him back up in the mix. Oh yeah, we'll definitely be back here Sunday for Cup again. I had intended to try and go for a triple header this week, and just again, I'm still recovering a little bit from being at the track at Pocono for this past weekend. And say sleep schedule this week hasn't quite normalized yet, so I'm still definitely a little bit exhausted. So, as I said, we'll be back for Sunday. We're just gonna take tomorrow off. I'm gonna watch the race, but and maybe I'll update you guys on Twitter or something. But yeah, we're gonna take tomorrow off from streaming. All right, here we go. We're getting doubled up, ready to go back racing. Let's go. Here we go, doubling up, ready to go back racing here. Honestly, road courses are also just so hard because of just how long these, especially the caution laps, go. Luckily, we've only got this race and one more, road course left before we're done road course racing for the year. At least on the Cup level. I think there's still Lime Rock Park in Connecticut for the trucks. I don't remember if O'Reilly has any other road courses that Cup doesn't go to, but I guess we'll find those when we get to them. But all right, here we go. They're doubled up, ready to go racing. They're heading through. Man, what is wrong with my YouTube TV? We are glitching all over the place tonight. Alright, yeah, here we go. Alright, here we go. Coming to take the green flag here. Alright, so pace car hits the pit road. Field in the hands of Lane Riggs as we get ready to go. Green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. Majeski on the outside of the front row. He is going to do his best, try and hold tight with Riggs, but here comes Chandler Smith on through. Who is that third car up the inside? It looks like. Yeah, hard to tell, but there comes the number 11 car. The 18 of Ankrum gets taken 3 wide through that corner. Majeski holding on to third place here, but Honeycutt breathing down his neck, trying to get back up there. Looks like the 11 of Honeycutt going to try and make him march towards the front. Yeah, we got a pretty good race going. Let's see. Man. Oh, great. We got Tanner Gray spun around there. Oh yeah, Honeycutt's doing great. Again, honestly, I don't know if you were here, if you were watching the race earlier, but the only reason why I'm surprised about Honeycutt doing as well as he is today is he absolutely clobbered the fence a few laps ago. So that's my only reason why I'm surprised that he's back up here. Is again he absolutely destroyed the fence. But yeah, no, he's been one of the 2 best drivers this year. It's been him and Riggs have been the top 2. And Chandler Smith has been that distant third place kind of guy, and he's Chandler Smith right here in the mix with them today. Again, between these 3, they are your top 3 in points. Riggs first, Honeycutt, about 19 points back, and then you've got you got Chandler Smith. All right, Jimmie Johnson. All right, we got Jimmie Johnson and Brendan Queen back inside the top 20 there for a moment. No, it looks like they just moved Johnson out. Not sure if that's real or sometimes, the scoreboard gets confused there because, Johnson just jumped way out of the spot. It could be that he got taken 3 wide and got moved down 2 spots at the same time, but hard telling, not knowing. There we go. Chandler Smith goes up, passes Lane Riggs. There we go. The front row motorsports teammates going at it with each other. So there we go. Chandler Smith takes the lead, and he's going to try and lead it for a little bit here. Yeah, this average, I always love seeing the average running positions. Ooh, the 2 spin. Okay, so the 2 got into the 15, and they were showing how the 15 ended up around when the 15 truck spun a few minutes ago. It did not bring out a caution, but I think we're lucky it didn't because, we've had, I think we've had just about enough yellow laps here. All right, so we're at 7 laps to go here. Working our way through this one pretty effectively here. But yeah, again, 7 laps to go here. Riggs versus Chandler Smith versus Honeycutt. This is gonna be a good 3-way battle all the way down to the checkers, I think. Again, the question is gonna be is who's gonna be able to hang on and take the victory itself. But all things considered, I think we are set for a pretty good race here. Gralla having a fantastic run for a part-time guy who doesn't get a lot of starts anymore. Gralla's never gotten a lot of starts, but yeah, he's always overachieved at the road courses. I remember way back, it was Austin Cindric's one and only Truck Series win up at Canadian Tire when he punted Kaz Gralla on the final lap of the race from the lead. To take that win, I believe that was Kaz Gralla. If memory serves me right, I believe that was Kaz Gralla that Austin Cindric punted to get the win. in his first truck race. And then you have during 2020 when Austin Dillon caught tested positive for the virus. NASCAR was holding firm on their rule that you had to pick a driver who had not raced the track on the Daytona road course. And luckily, Casgralla was just standing around with his helmet and was able to be called upon to race the Cup race last minute. So, and he ended up getting a top 10 out of it in the number 3 car in a relief role that day. I'd love to see what he could do with a full-time opportunity, but at the moment, I don't see that as feasible right now. But hey, if Casgralla could go ahead and get some sponsorships, maybe we can go ahead and see him put together an effort. But yeah, Casgralla though, 6th place right now. Running that 62 truck, the other Freeson Motorsports team. But yeah, again 38 of Smith out front, leading this one for a bit. I remember Gralla was running a lot for RWR in Cup a few years back. I don't remember him running anything kind of full time. I do remember him making starts for Rick Ware, but I don't remember him doing anything on as I think during the Cody Ware suspension. That might have been like the year that Cody Ware got suspended. They picked him up for to fill in, or at least on a part-time level, but then they ended up bringing out is that a yellow? I saw lights on the track. I saw yellow lights on the side of the track. Maybe a locally yellow? Not sure. Maybe I just saw something, but I could have sworn I saw yellow lights on the side of the track, which would normally be your indicator that, hey, the race is gone yellow. But yeah, then for the full year though that Ware was suspended, that's when we had Justin Haley jumping in the 51 for a year. Yeah, as soon as we started talking about him, Casgralla has dropped from 6th place down to 10th place. So as soon as we started talking about him, he just started dropping back. Guess he just needs to fly under that radar because clearly Spotlight not doing too great for him. Right, let's see. Let's look up Casgralla. See, Casgralla. Alright, so he has made 31 Cup races over the course of his career. He does have one truck win, okay. He won the 2017 race at Daytona for the trucks. Alright, so during the 2024 season, he did fill in a lot of the year in the number 15 car for Rick Ware, only missing out on Talladega, Kansas, Gateway, Nashville, Pocono, Indy, Richmond, Daytona. He came back for Darlington. But yeah, he raced about 2/3 of the season 2024 for the number 15 for Rick Ware. And then we got a wall bent over on pit road. Who crashed? Oh no. La Luna, that's 18 of Ankrum completely killed. And yeah, he moved that barrier right out of position. Was that Canadian Tire? Yep. Okay, so I think it was the 2016 Canadian Tire race that he got bumped out the way, or was it 2017 that he was going for his second win? Might have been going for his second career win. Yeah. But yeah, I remember he was fighting to try and make it into the chase that year, and then he got absolutely run over. Another caution flag coming out. We're probably going to go to overtime here. All right. Well, this is going to be a lengthy cleanup here, so so to help fill some of the time, let's go ahead and well, let's have some fun during the yellow flag here, since I'm almost certain it's going to be a little bit. Let's go ahead and new scene. Yellow flag. Alright. Give me just 1 second, guys. We're going to build this up here in a minute. Alright, let's get the video capture device. There we go. Let's again size me right up into the corner here. All right, and we're gonna play a couple rounds of building a 17-0 football team here. So, if you guys haven't seen this game before, I'll explain it for you guys in a bit. But let me just get this sized up here. Boom. And let's layer me over that. And we'll put me right there. All right. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen this game before, do we have? Oh yeah, no, that's all good. There we go. All right, so yeah, if you guys haven't seen this game before, it'll randomly spin us a team, and we will go ahead and select a thing. If they have a NASCAR version, I would love to see it. If anyone knows of a NASCAR version, let me know. But yeah, again, they bent the wall, so we're gonna be here for a minute. So for the Giants, I think we gotta go Malik Neighbors if we want to try and get a 17-0 team. And sometimes you will just end up getting absolutely killed by the randomizer. Let's go Colston Loveland for the Bears. The Jets is rough, but let's go Brees Hall. Try and make the best of it, but that's our 3 skill positions already filled out. Detroit Lions. Let's go Dan Campbell here, the head coach spot. Now we need a quarterback and a defense. Washington, not great for either. We'll take Jaden Daniels. This is not going to be a 17-0 team. And we get Minnesota's defense. Okay, this is not bad. My prediction, I think we're going 13-4. I think is where we end up with this. And 14-3. Okay, not bad. So let's go ahead and see if we can get better than that then. They also started putting our best record up. Nice. All right, so let's go defense, because that's about the best part about Houston. Although Nico Collins isn't bad, but if we can take their defense, we're taking their defense. Detroit, we can take Gibbs here. Yeah, Jaden Daniels isn't bad. Again, it's mainly because he's coming off a rough year and hasn't had that many overall seasons to kind of establish himself as a great player. Cincinnati. This is an interesting one. There's two easy players you can go for here. You can either go Joe Burrow or you can go Jamar Chase. I do think there are less wide receivers on Burrow's level, or on and there's less wide receivers on Chase's level than there are quarterbacks on Burrow's level. So we're going to take Jamar Chase here. Oh, yeah, here we go. And there we go. Speaking of, do we want to go Jim Harbaugh or do we want to go Justin Herbert? We could go Jim Harbaugh here and gamble the quarterback position, or we can go Justin. I'm thinking we go Jim here. A little bit of a gamble on the quarterback, but I think there's some great quarterbacks still up. Oh, great. We get Kyle Pitts at tight end because we're not taking Tua or Penix. Let's see. Who do we get for a quarterback? It's going to be Lamar Jackson. Let's go. Oh, we might actually have a shot here. Let's see. Lamar Jackson. All right. Where do we think we're going to get with this one? The only question mark I think we have is Kyle Pitts. I think we probably go 16-1. I could even see this thing cheaping us out and getting us a 15-2. But we get Lamar Jackson. Let's go ahead and click this one in. Where do we think we're getting? It's going to be... Oh, we got 17-0. Let's go. Boom. We got the 17-0. I did not think it was going to give us enough credit for the Kyle Pitts pick, but we win. That was a major gamble to kind of punt the quarterback at the very end there, but I think the Jim Harbaugh pick there really is what won us the game. I mean, when you go through that fourth pick there, we could have gone quarterback and we would have missed out on Lamar, and we would have been stuck with either the Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, not bad, but then it means then we would have taken the Falcons head coach, which is Stefanski, which I don't know if we would have won with that. And say if we took there's a lot of ways that we could have lost that one, but hey, we got it. Trust me, 17-0 is not as easy as it says that clearly appears to make it look here. Yeah, we definitely got a little bit lucky with the teams we picked here, but here we go. We got Neighbors. I think he's the only Giant really worth picking here. Colts. All right, this is my team. I think we go Ty Warren. Oh, wait, I completely forgot about Taylor. Well, there's a lot of teams that you can only really take the running back from, but I did kind of botch it there without taking Jonathan Taylor, just going a little too quick here. All right, Baltimore, we get Lamar again. Let's go Lamar. All right. So we've gone Panthers defense. Liam Cohen, okay, not bad. Not a bad coach here to take. We don't really have a franchise running back there, and if running back's what sinks us, okay, we get James Cook. I would take Taylor over Cook, but I think I'd take Tyler Warren over both Buffalo tight ends. I think we ended up with actually, ironically, a better record than I think we were going to get. Let's go. 14-3. Okay. Yeah, that's more what I was expecting with that last one. So let's go ahead and spin it again. Again, they are back from commercial break, but they're still just interviewing people in and around the garage area while we're waiting for repairs. All right. The Patriots here. Okay. Oh, they've officially red flagged the race, by the way. The red flag has come out here. They've stopped the cars and they are getting water bottles to the drivers. All right, let's go. I'm going to go Mike Vrabel. As much as I think Drake May is good, I think Vrabel is a much more consistent coach, and I think we can get a better quarterback than Drake May, or at least a quarterback who's done it for more than 1 year. Denver's defense was elite last year, so let's take the defense. And they didn't lose any prominent stars in the offseason for Denver on defense. Vegas, I think we gotta go Brock Bowers here. But yeah, I did not expect to win the 17-0 quite as quickly as we did. Okay, we get Cedarian De Leon Lamb. And yes, that is actually his name. Oof. All right, Arizona, we got to take a running back. The question is, which one? James Conner, Trey Benson, you're all great. Jeremiah Love is the rookie. They took up inside the top 5. I think let's take a rookie here. Well, maybe we should have gone quarterback because now we get Malik Willis. Well, this is going to be a bad result. Okay, 13-4. Yeah, I mean, granted, the rest of the team is pretty formidable. Maybe Malik Neighbors could carry him. All right, let's try again. All right, Jawan Johnson for the tight end. I think for the Saints, I think between that and as I say, we could have taken Olave, but I think there's better receivers we could get, like Puka Nakua here. I could go Matt Stafford. Again, I think there's a lot more quarterbacks, though, that are on that elite level than there are wide receivers. Same thing, head coach. I think we could probably take head coach, and there's very few people on McVay's level, but I think we'll take Puka and see where we go from here. Again, we're still waiting. They are still under a red flag here. Seattle, okay, that's a good defense we can take. Pittsburgh, great. We either have running back, head coach, or Rodgers. I think we go head coach. I don't love McCarthy, but he has a decent head coaching record at least. Maybe he can carry us. There we go. We get to redeem ourselves by taking Jonathan Taylor. And we get the Chargers. We get Herbert. Herbie fully loaded. 14-3. As I said, 17-0 is not easy. I'm kind of amazed we got it as early as we did. All right, Seattle's defense. Or we could go head coach. Wait, JSN. Let's not overthink this. Jackson Smith and Jigba. All right, let's go. I'm going to go Matt LaFleur here because I don't want to use up my tight end spot and then get the Cardinals. I don't think there's any team. There really isn't an NFL team that has just a good head coach and nothing else going for them. All right, Giants. I know they got Likely from the Ravens. That's not a terrible option at tight end. Should still be eligible for the. Oh man, this is going to come down completely to whether or not this app is a Dak fan or not. Because we're going to have to take Prescott. I don't think their running backs are good enough, and the Micah Parsons-less defense is atrocious. Okay, we got to take Genty here. It's not really an option. And our defense... Are you kidding me? All right, we got the Titans defense, and we're going to give up like 4 games on that alone. Yep. Yeah, I don't think the team was necessarily perfect to begin with, but... Alright, we're going to start with Taylor on the Colts. Washington... Let's go head coach. We'll take Dan Quinn. The Scary Terry could be good, but again, I think there's some elite wide receivers we can get. So I think we can get a better wide receiver. And Dan Quinn's a solid coach when he's not in a Super Bowl matchup. All right. Well, I think we go Tucker here. Let's go Tuck. Good old Tuck. Tucker Kraft mac and cheese. Cincy with wide receiver and quarterback left. This is a really this is really putting this to the, because we're either punting wide receiver or we're punting quarterback here. We're gonna punt quarterback because again, I do believe there are better options for this. And we get Lamar again. Wow, we punt the quarterback position a couple of times here. I think this might be another 17-0. Let's see. Are we going to get a second one, or is this going to be 16-1? Oh, no, we got two. We got a second one. Let's go. I was not confident in that one, although that's actually a pretty solid team. I mean, it's a pretty perfect team, if you ask the simulator, apparently. Alright. There we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Okay, they do have cars rolling, so we're going to flip back over to the other page, and we will be right back. There we go. Alright, we're right back where we were. As we were. Alright, so there we go. Talking with the crew chief of Lane Riggs' car. Again, we are, very close to the end of this one. But that was, again, that's a fun game. Maybe something we go back and forth to when we think we're going to have a long break. But yeah, that game is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. We got lucky that we got two 17-0s in that short time frame. All right, there we go. But yeah, I mean, I've had some amazing teams in that game that have turned out to not be winners. So again, I'm absolutely stunned we won twice in that short time frame we were playing. All right, here we go. Doubled up, ready to go back racing here. So they've say that after today, there's only 5 races left to the playoffs for the trucks. You got Lime Rock Park, you've got North Wilkesboro, you've got IRP, Richmond International, and then New Hampshire. So 4 short tracks. New Hampshire's a short track. And then 2 road courses. So no more traditional mile-and-a-half ovals. All short tracks are down the stretch. This is Lane Riggs' regular season championship to lose, I think. Honeycutt's great. Chandler Smith is great. Lane Riggs has been on fire at the short track. So here we go. Again, welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're getting ready for the restart here at 10 p.m. at night here. On the East Coast, of course, they're out west, so the sun is still shining bright on the cars here. Although the sun is starting to set, so we gotta get this race finished. It's 3 to go. It'll be 2 to go when they take the green. But we are still in regulation. We have not made it to overtime yet. Oh, a major dent on the front of the 38 car. I had not seen that. The 38 truck. I had not seen that big dent prior to now, so that's going to hurt their aero for sure. But here we go. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith as we get ready to go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are racing here at San Diego once again here. A great restart for the truck with all that aero damage. Great acceleration for Chandler Smith through the first turn or so. Leads them down. You got cars going 3, 4 wide down there. You got the 11 of and Ben Rhodes runs wide, and there's contact behind. Caution flag's gonna fly. We're going to overtime. There's multiple cars around. All right, here we go. Yeah, and caution flag flies here. We're going to see this one probably... actually, I'm not seeing the yellow flag flying on the TV yet. Are they going to try and let it run to at least take the white flag to try and let the race end? Nope. Okay, there is the caution. I was going to say, there's definitely no way some of these drivers are getting out of there in a timely fashion, let alone getting all the way back to the pit road or safety areas. Alright, and one of the Dodge Rams there. Not sure which one. Oh, no, sorry, this is a Chevy. It's the coloration of the Dodge cars, but... Alright, man, again, we are just... Head's a little bit throbbing here. Again, while we got another commercial break, how about let's do another game of 23 or 17-0, but this time I will let you guys let's see. Do we have another one? All right, let's try this one. This one's all time. I have not played this one, so we'll have to see. First off, hopefully it lines up with our all right, let's try and resize this a bit. Give me a minute, guys. All right. All right. Let's do a quick play here. All right. All right. We got a short amount of time here. Okay. Teams you haven't perfected. Okay. Let's see. I have no idea how this works. So let's go ahead and go Colts. All right. All right. Quarterback. Let's go ahead and grab Peyton here off the rip. All right. Let's go Manning. There we go. Yeah, Peyton Manning. Lock it in. Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars. Open slot. All right. 7 front 7A, front 7B. Okay. Let's go ahead and go with good old gambling addict himself, Calvin Ridley. He wasn't the greatest on the he wasn't the greatest on there. Oh, okay, we got Baltimore Ravens. I think we got to go Mark Andrews here. Oh, we have a limited range for the Ravens tight end slot. All right, well, then let's go Derrick Henry here. All right, Detroit Lions. So we do need a 09 there, or we can take, let's go Amon Ross St. Brown. Yep, there we go. A Bears tight end, 95. I have no idea who the Bears tight ends in 1995 then. Let's go Greg Olson. I didn't even know that he played for them in that time frame. All right, let's go Micah. All right, let's try Parsons. There we go. Micah Parsons. Ooh, all right. DB for the Bengals pre-95, or we need a defensive player. Let's go Trey Hendrickson. Man. And then we get a Jet pre-1995. Well, Dad, if you're watching, please help, because I do not know many Jets around the league. Certainly not pre-95 Jets. Alright, let's just pick one for me here. Alright. 7 and 10. Alright, not bad. Alright, I definitely don't prefer that one to the other version that we did earlier. The earlier one was definitely a much easier one to just click and go. That one takes a lot more thought, especially with some of the limitations. Like, okay, you're having to pick a tight end that played from 95 to 09, or that played for that team in that time frame, and it's like, I'm fairly new to following the entire NFL. I watch like 2-3 games a year outside of the Colts prior to like the last 5 years. So unless it's a historic player for a good franchise, but Bears, no. Good franchise, not the Jets. All right, here we go. We're getting lined up, ready to go back and do this all again here. All right, let's see. Pit road's open. Coming to pit road. One driver. So, oh no, we got two drivers. We got the 91 Eckes coming down to pit road here. But yeah, I like the other one just because you can just kind of click and go. With that one, again, you have to do a lot more thinking and potentially even have to investigate it. Man. Today has been a day, that is for sure. We had Jimmie Johnson leading some laps earlier today. We got Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, and Caden Honeycutt all up in the mix here. Alright, where has alright, so Jimmy's a couple laps down now. Jimmie must have gotten some damage in that last wreck that we're currently under caution flag from. Cliggy's back. Cliggy's on lead lap in the 75 car. Brendan Queen, our boy, in 16th place. There we go. Alright, that's not terrible. We can work with that. Hmm. Man, that wall is really scuffed up and bent in a couple of weird spots. Okay, here we go. Choose cone time. Alright, here we go. They're doing the choose and they're not showing who chose what. Great job, Fox. I also like that one because it'll actually tell you what players there are. Because like sometimes you might forget about a certain player at a certain position. Yeah, you might be like, "Oh, Ravens wide receiver, who that?" Although the answer should be no. Don't look for a Ravens wide receiver if you can avoid it. But here we go. Alright, here we go. Lights are off on the pace truck, and we will be seeing it pull off to the pit road here in just a moment as we get ready to go back racing. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. Sorry, a little bit premature. Alright, here we go. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of Caden Honeycutt and Chandler Smith as we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are racing here at the Naval Base Coronado. Chandler Smith, and there goes Caden Honeycutt down into the lead. Oh, and Chandler Smith goes around right off the back bumper. Chandler Smith around on the front straightaway, wrecked in, just after turn one. He's going to get it back going here once the traffic is away, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs trying to get clear of Tyler Reif. Tyler fighting it out. Oh, no, sorry. Did the 11 go down too? Okay. They're showing the 11 cars having gone down as well. So now we got Riggs versus Hemrick for the win. What? I gotta see what happened to the 11. Because I thought the 11 got away scot-free there, but apparently not. Now it's Reif, Hemrick, and Riggs fighting it out for the win here. Lane Riggs the best driver in car all day. He's led 20 laps on the day, nearly half the laps. Tyler Reif and Hemrick both hungry for victory. Reif looking for his first one. Hemrick looking for his first truck win. I think his first truck win in a while, if not maybe ever. And obviously Hemrick has a pretty cool celebration that's pretty near and dear to my heart, but everybody's taking advantage of Riggs here. It seems like Riggs' car may be a little bit hurt from the earlier running. And now it's Hemrick and Reif side by side for the lead. So there we go. Again, right now, Riggs isn't. As a Riggs is not in a position to try and take this one, but again, we're gonna have to wait and see. Oh, we got a major smoke show here through the final set of corners here, coming to the white flag. Tyler Reif out in front of the field, but a major lockup on the tires here. We take the white flag, 1 lap to go. All right, we see the white. We're going to see the end of this one. There we go. Lane Riggs sneaks past Hemrick here, and now all eyes are on that smoking number 42 car that is absolutely shredding his tires, I'm sure, with the amount of smoke coming off of them at this point. All right, so again, Tyler Reif out in front of the field here. Again, Lane Riggs. Kaz Grala has made his way to third. Here we go. Kaz Grala making an incredible comeback here. If Riggs and Reif get together, we could have a really interesting finish here. There we go. Brendan Queen up into the top 10. In fact, we got 3 Dodges up into the top 10 here at the very end. But again, right now it's Reif, you've got Riggs, you got Hemrick. Let's see. Why is our leaderboard stuck here? Give me a second. I'm going to refresh it here. All right, there we go. All right, I don't know if that's well lined up here, but here we go. Again, coming through the final couple of corners here. Riggs has got to come up with something here. Otherwise, it's going to be Tyler Reif looking for his first career NASCAR Truck Series win, and he is fought his way here. Here we go. Coming to the last chicane. It's Reif. It's going to be Reif and Riggs. Nose to tail. Again, 1 set of corners remaining, I believe. Here we go. Coming down to that big tire apex here. Reif, family and friends, looking for it. Riggs. Here comes Riggs, making the move. Reif misses the corner. Reif misses the corner, and Riggs doors him out of the way, and he has to make the complete stop anyway. Lane Riggs, victory lane for number 34. Let's go, Lane Riggs. Hemrick to second, Grala third, Lewis fourth, Majeski comes home 5th. Haley 6th. Reif comes home 7th. 8th for Brendan Queen. 9th for Rhodes. 10th Eckes. So Minnie Tyrell had a bit of a bad last set of corners there, and Haley actually jumped up a couple spots from the other Dodges, though. But honestly, all in all, that was one of Dodge's best performances. But man, that Loves team is going to be on fire. That was an awesome finish. Oh, one of my buddies just said, Tyler Reif had it. That is very next message. Wait, I'll censor it for the kids watching. Who the bleep is Tyler Reif? That is hilarious. As per usual, we'll go through the full finishing order for you guys, but if you guys just came for the race reaction, that is going to be end of the race. Again, I will not be doing the O'Reilly race tomorrow. Again, I'm just too tired this weekend. We will be back. I'm going to be putting all my effort into being ready for Cup on Sunday, but until next time, hopefully you guys have had a fantastic rest of your day. Again, we'll be going through the full finishing order, but if you guys just came for that, hopefully you guys will come back on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series race from the Naval Base Coronado. If we can have a finish half as good as that for the Cup race, I think we're in for a real treat there. Just seeing a replay here of the incident. Okay, so the 11 got some significant damage to the rear of his truck. I thought he was going to be able to try and keep that one going, but he must have gotten some kind of suspension damage or something on that truck that didn't allow him to keep that one going. As per usual, we'll go through the full finishing order, though. Let's skip the ads, because you guys don't need ads at this point. And there's the burnout for, oh no, not the burnout, sorry, that's the 38 truck, just pacing around here, but yeah. As we said, Lane Riggs, the race winner, makes that last lap move and really kind of gets bailed out by Rife, forgetting that he needs to make the corner. There's Riggs burning it down. Then we got Hemrick second, Casgrella third, fourth Landon Lewis, and fifth Ty Majeski. Sixth Haley, seventh Tyler Rife. But yeah, so again, Tyler Rife, the absolute mess by just missing that final chicane there. Yeah, then you got Brendan Queen coming home in the eighth. Ninth will be Ben Rhodes. 10th is where we find Eckes. Gio Ruggiero coming home in the 11th spot. Minnie Tyrell unofficially coming home 12th. 13th will be Tanner Gray. Chris Wright comes home in the top 15, coming home 14th for Chris Wright. And 15th will be where we find Adam Andretti. Yeah, say it is getting dark there on the in-car cam. But yeah, then we got Cole Butcher in the 13 car coming home 16th. Brendan no longer gone, coming home in the 17th position. 18th for Austin Varco. Parker Kligerman, good old Cliggy, coming home in the 19th position. And rounding out your top 20 will be Frankie Muniz. Right in the middle of the field. Then we got Andres Perez de Lara coming home in the 21st position. Chandler Smith coming home 22nd. 23rd will be Caden Honeycutt. 24th is where we will find Connor Mozak. 25th, Justin Marks. And that was all your Honeycutt, Mozak, and Justin Marks are all one lap down. Dawson Sutton in the 26th truck comes home in 26th place, 2 laps off the pace. Jackson Lee in the 27th position comes home 3 laps off the pace. Then you got Nathan Nicholson and Grant Infinger coming home 28th and 29th, respectively, 5 laps off the pace. Good old Jimmie Johnson comes home 30th in his first truck race in years. Comes home 6 laps off the pace in 30th. Ankrum in 31st place, 7 laps off the pace. Another kind of disappointing performance there. Jake Garcia, 13 laps off the pace in 32nd spot. Stuart Friesen comes home 24 laps short of the checkered flag in 33rd. And then you got a pair of Rams at the very bottom of the field in Jamie McMurray, 31 laps off the pace in 34th. And Corey LaJoy rounding out your 35-car field tonight, 38 laps shy of the checkered flag. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And hey, if we get half this race in the Cup race on Sunday, it'll be a absolute treat. But that was an awesome finish, and I feel terrible for Tyler Rife. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Live from whatever you guys had to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye.